the previous episode of Bronny and Bryce James TV, and it seemed like this was the final season for him to actually lead the team and be that guy on the court. But I can assure you it is far from that, and I don't think we're going to see that happening for a very long time. All right. Bronny James has turned the corner with his game, and you won't believe what just happened. Now, Bronny's first game in AAU, he honestly played lackluster to say the least, and was really not looking like that promised hooper that we had been waiting for. And after making that video, man, I was getting dragged in that comment section, but you guys won't believe what just happened. Bronny went off, and he clearly must have saw my video, because this dude called me out and changed everything. He was looking like a completely different hooper in his last two games, and this dude had a 21-point game and a 28-point game. He's almost out here dropping 30 points in AAU, and we've never seen Bronny play like this ever. Now, what was super impressive, and I think the main difference between these two games that Bronny just had versus his previous one, was just the mindset. He was clearly looking for his jump shot a lot more than he did in the previous game, and I really think the biggest issue was just confidence with Bronny. Bronny, sometimes when he steps on the court, you can tell he doesn't look like the leader of the team, but it's almost as if in these two games, he turned the switch and really assumed leadership for this squad, because, man, he was looking like the best player on the court in these games. Now, we clearly see what happens when Bronny starts to look for his shot, but what's even more interesting is they won both of the games. Now, the first game they won 92-87, and JJ Taylor also had 16 points, and he for sure, I love this dude's game, especially with how tall he is, how athletic, and he does have a guard type of play style as well, which really adds another dimension to his game. What's even more interesting is Bronny wasn't even the highest scorer in the first game. Seven Bahati and Justin Daniels both dropped 26 points, and those are solid numbers. You have a ton of talented guys on the floor, but honestly, I have to change, and I gotta say, man, I was wrong about Bronny James. This is honestly the best place for him to be on the court. He's clearly showing why he's dominant, and is just one of these guys who can get it done, but the biggest thing, man, he has to be consistent. That's one of the biggest problems with Bronny. He may have games where he can drop 20, even 30 points in that most recent game, but you have to be consistent if you want people to take you seriously. And people think I'm hating on Bronny James, but remember, even NBA scouts called Bronny James pretty much not a one and done, and not on the top list of recruits that they were looking at. So clearly, I'm not the only one that notices holes in Bronny's game, but he's definitely showing and proving everyone wrong with these two games, because, man, if he keeps this up, he may just be the best player in the country and might even pass the rankings of people like DJ Wagner and Mikey Williams, which would be insane. Now, I can't say people always believed in Bronny's game and what he's doing on the court, but if he was able to pull this off, man, he would shock the world. Overall, but especially in the second game as well, Bronny's shot attempts and just the amount of shots he put up was way higher than what he normally does. And it clearly shows you good things happen when this dude continues to shoot the ball, because early in the game, he was missing a ton of shots, but continued to shoot the ball, and he started getting hot and almost dropped 30, which we've never seen Bronny do before. But it's clearly showing you he's starting to gain that momentum and a little bit of confidence here and there, which if he can consistently do, man, like the comments are stating, everyone is talking about it, this dude's going to be an All-American and a top player in the country if he can keep it up. Now, what's fire as well is that Ja Jackson, of course, he plays for OTE, Overtime's league, is actually hooping with Bronny James, and it's fire to see him back on the squad, because he's been playing with Overtime for so long, and to be able to come back on an AAU team, especially to team up with Bronny and play on Strive for Greatness, is just fire to see this big man down low. Bryce James also seems to be getting some more playing time and just helped his squad catch another W, a 45-point win, but man, who are they playing against? This dude, number 32 on the court, and everyone was putting in the comment section, looks like he's 30. I don't know what type of squads they're playing against, but many of you were even stating Bryce was actually coming off of an injury. You peep him wearing the glasses, he's got the goggles, but it's good to see him back on the court. But man, hopefully they could play some real teams, because they won 97-52, and that is a blowout. We wanted Bryce to be playing on this squad to really be playing against solid competition, but if you're just blowing out teams like that, it really defeats the purpose of this whatsoever. Hit that subscribe button to join the squad, and let's see how many subs we can get from this video. Also, like the video and make sure, man, if you have not peeped what's going on with Bronny James and Jalen Green's brother, aka AJ Johnson, man, hit that video on the screen because this situation you won't want to miss.